morning, Ramon. Good morning, Team Steam. I have a needy little dog with me today, Whitney. She just got a piece of, bologna. So I don't know what more you could ask for in a dog's life. Why she wants to be, pet so much. It gets a little tiring sometimes, Ramon. But anyway, I guess we're off to a pretty good start the last couple days, Ramon. How are you?
I'll say, Mindy. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning steam with the Midwest Premier Sports Handicapper, Mindy Hahn. I'm Ramon Scott. Mindy, yeah, another big day over for us at Tony'sPicks.com. We went 6-0 with our consensus premium picks. Thanks to everyone in the chat, too, for contributing, although I'm seeing some not so good. Oh boy, not so good day. We'll say hello to everyone and get rolling here with our Friday baseball card. We have a Friday Cubs game and then the rest at night. Plus, we'll have a couple of WNBA games. And, well, Mindy, you're going to be there in
That's right.
Omaha next Tuesday reporting for us, but might
Right.
as well just say you're there now. And
Well,
uh,
yeah.
our
All the festivities have started.
Oh,
So,
yeah. I
yeah.
saw the one. Where is the one? Rocco's. They have a. Does that sound familiar? They have Jello shots eating contest where they
Right. Yeah. So who
patrons
is it?
come
I
in
think
and buy Jello shots.
Southern Miss has the record now. So it goes, basically, team by team here. And so, yeah, I think Southern Miss has the record. So everyone has to try to beat them. I think the record's like 3,600 shots, Jello
Okay.
shots.
LSU was winning so far, but those are not the players. Not the
Right.
players. They're doing Jello shots before the game. But we'll talk about it. You've been there before, so we could talk a little bit at the conclusion of our regular portion. We'll talk about that. And the big ballpark. It's a big ballpark.
Yeah.
With wind blowing in most of the time. So, it's gotten a little smaller for these players, these bats over the last couple of years, but still, compared to regular season college ballparks, that ballpark's pretty big. And we'll see how it plays out with our two games today as well. And yeah, great job yesterday, Mindy. We had some winners. Let's say hello to everyone, then we'll go over to Tony'sPicks.com and get with the uh, winners from yesterday. Take a look at some of the games that we had selected, some of the winners, but we're definitely on a streak right now.
Right.
Uh,
We're hot.
12 of our last 13. I know that for sure. That was easy to figure out. We were 6-0
And then
yesterday.
12 though with Mindy's mistake, Ramon. So hey, looks even better on paper.
Here's Ron today joining us, and Curtis was
Ron.
here as well. It was Ron that's talking about he
Yeah,
had a bad
terrible.
day. What happened, Ron? All right. Ash is here today. The regular crew rolling in here. Hey, welcome to Sean Morrow. Yeah, Mindy was on. It gave me more opportunities, and I couldn't come through with some of them. Mindy, you laid them right out there for me. And uh, for example, Cleveland, I think, was one of them. Let's take Thomas is here. Bionic is here today, and Blake as well. Hello to all of our friends strolling in. We give them a few more minutes. Thomas is here, and that is a lot of jello. So far, they only like 120, but that was a couple days. A couple days ago, people just started to get into town,
Can you
and
imagine making all those with time it takes to do all that? I mean, we do some for our family celebrations. We have one person that makes the jello shots and they're made with champagne, but it's like they, get me with putting all the lids on them and just doing that alone takes forever.
yeah, yep. Mighty Saint here today. Hello, Mighty Saint. Good to see you again. And good point. Maybe the seasons are changing there, Ron. So maybe if we lose a few, I don't know. Here's Luis here today. This is a slow time. Let's face it,
Yeah.
of the year. So we'll get through it. I think we're down to 49 days till
The countdown has begun for
Ball
Bone
might have a pick
Magic.
here for you. Winnipeg plays Saskatchewan tonight. Might have a little bit of a pick anyway. We're going to have a long show, so we'll try to get through as fast as we can. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com here real quick so we can get this thing rolling. But just want to show how we did, Mindy. There it is, 6-0, right on top of the handicapper leaderboards over at Tony'sPicks.com. And, well, Vinny DiMichele.
Right
I don't
behind us,
know.
on his tails.
You and me and Tony and Mindy, but I mean, the way Vinny stopped in here, maybe he's turned on the
Steam.
fire stick today and sees us right now. Good job, Vinny, right there. If you throw him in as our one of our guys, if you will, 6-0, 6-0, 12-0, and there's Ben as well, 3-0 yesterday. Tiffany went 4-2. Tony won his only play on the day. Good
Probably
job.
the White Sox.
I know what it was. It was the Braves run line, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Braves run line, which is what we gave out on the show as well. Mindy was Braves run line there yesterday. You went 4-3. Make sure we're all in the profit.
Yeah, I had some late inning antics get me on some unders, I tell you.
Yeah,
I had the under. There goes the Tigers for 3 in the 8th. What? Come on.
Yeah, but you had some good winners. You and I had opposite plays, and you got the better of me for a premium with Tampa Bay, Oakland under. You had that one. You also had the Nationals on the run line. They did it again with that run line. And you also had White Sox, Dodgers over. I think that was either a win or a put. Yeah, I think you had a win on that.
I had a win. I wound up getting it at 8.5. So
I had to push because I was late to the party.
Yeah.
And so that's why you got to get these lines early. So, and you also had the Atlanta Dream yesterday, went right against my pick there with Connecticut. Good job, Atlanta. They're the surprise team right now, no doubt.
But you had the Aces. Look at that. I mean, the Aces won by, 33. Outscored them by 17 in the 4th. They were giving them a run for their money, but not so fast there.
Yeah, they didn't let up. The Aces were serious there. Also, I had a premium winner with Indiana and Chicago Sky. Oh, way over.
In the 180.
Indiana, we had Indiana, and interestingly there, Mindy, not everybody won. We took them in the morning at +3.
Yeah, +3, and it moved to 1.
It went higher than that, believe it or not.
Oh, did it?
Some people will end up with a loss in that game with the Indiana Fever. Actually, went up as high as -3.5. Now there was, once Copper was out, that line did shift. I was like, wow, I can't. I was very surprised. So
yeah,
just some of the winners yesterday over at Tony'sPicks.com. So hey, welcome everyone who was just watching the Brisbane Lions defeat your favorite team, Mindy, the Sydney Swans.
Oh, yes.
97-81. Brisbane keeps rolling in AFL. That's our international coverage today. But I'll tell you, I just want to point out some of the premium packages. I want to mention one thing here as we'll show what's going on over at Tony'sPicks.com with our handicappers today. Here's Tony T's got his Powerhouse Friday Formula for Profit 3-pack in Major League Baseball. Daniel Wolosicek with a 3-pack. And I've got a 3-pack up right now in PFL, Professional Fight League tonight. I got a 3-pack. But notice over here on
for me. Okay.
They have some action here on Friday night. Bellator also tonight. But just want to mention on the pick ticker.
What is PFL? Is it boxing?
No, that's mixed martial arts.
Okay.
Kind of the minor league. We think of the kind of the minor league, a little bit of UFC. It's run by the UFC organization. So just want to point out here on the pick ticker here, Nick Lagaretos today. He's got 3 picks. There's a big European qualifiers card today with a lot of hot matchups. So we won't be covering it here on the show, but just want to mention that today. It's kind of our soccer coverage. Last night, many of you had time or was too late, but out here in Las Vegas, the United States, absolutely dominating Mexico.
Fernando, what happened?
Absolutely skunked them. It was
I was looking for WNBA actually, right? And so when I turned it on, I saw that there was U.S. versus Mexico, but that's as far as I got with it.
Yeah, it was
Interesting,
a total mismatch, and Mexico fans a little bit that poor sportsmanship by their fan base a little bit at the end. It was getting frustrating, but they're just going to have to penalize these guys eventually for using those slurs in the crowd, but nothing they can do. And they ended up playing actually 9-on-9 by the end of the game, as four red cards were handed out late in the game, but the U.S. was absolutely dominating. And then the bombshell comes at the beginning of the game. Obviously, U.S. soccer, not exactly, geniuses when it comes to. They thought we'll just sneak in that we have a new coach right at the beginning of the game out of the news cycle. They bring Greg Berhalter back, which he was just terminated because of some comments that he had made, and it had to do with, remember the controversy with Claudio Reyna and all that, and got into a little hubbub. They let him go. He's coming back now, and then some controversial comments on the Paramount Plus broadcast about saying, "Hey, U.S. Well." The analyst, popular player, I don't want to mention his name, but said, the U.S. can't get a high profile head coach because they would have to pay the women's coach just as much money as if they went out to get a high profile coach. So they have to go back to, I don't want to call it the retread. He had some good moments, he had some bad moments as coach, but they basically was saying, we can't get the super high profile coach because then they'd have to go out and pay the women's coach the same. Just
really, no one likes equality, Ramon. I get it.
So maybe that's where they're at. But anyways, so they named the coach in the middle of the game, and it didn't matter. They probably should keep this coach the way they crushed him, this interim coach. So hello to Blake. He's going to be ready for the College World Series.
All right.
Great day yesterday. Hey, Belly 7 is here again. Good to see Belly, and Solo is here as well. Yep. We'll get ready to roll here. Fernando, hello. Jim Pritchett is here as well. Matt D.
Hey, folks. Park's closed.
Good to see everyone. We're getting up to 40, so I think we'll get ready to head on and start the show. Gonna have to get it going because a lot of games here. Damien is. One more. Yeah, we'll mention. Mindy was too easy out there. They hope they change the pin placements. I mentioned in that write-up, right, that Max Homa, who is,
Hiya, Homa.
6 strokes off the lead or something like that, but only because 2 players go out and shoot 62. I mean, this is supposed to be the U.S. Open. A lot of times in some years you'll be sitting there after the first day and you'll have, maybe just a couple of players under par, if that. Sometimes it's like 1 under, 2 under. Well, they just tore up this course, made it look like, course out there in Hawaii in February, just tearing it up. With the, I don't know if the winner is going to shoot 25 under. I mean, 2 players, like I said, players went out and shot 62 yesterday. So, all right. Here we go. CTG, hello as well. All right, let's get started with our baseball coverage here to get the show going on a Friday.
I need to stop. Just a second, Ramon. I gotta blow my nose before we.
Okay, no problem. I'll just talk with Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele shooting the 8 under par yesterday, and a couple of golfers, including DJ, just 2 strokes back. Rory shot 5 under. Bryson in the group there at 3 under, with Scheffler as well. We're there, man. We got. It's going to be hard, I think, for our guy Rahm at this point. I mean, he shot 1 under, but the way everybody went yesterday, I don't know if anybody's out of the fray just yet. So,
right.
All right, it's Friday. It's Cubs action here. Tradition, unlike any other. All right, the Orioles and the Cubs will start us off today. A pretty fun matchup, I'd say, here for your afternoon pleasure. Yeah, College World Series going on around the same time a little bit here. So in this one, the Orioles are favored on the road with Irvin against Hendricks here, Mindy. I don't know, Hendricks still pretty solid. I know the Orioles have been hot and the Cubs maybe not so much here, and Orioles get favoritism here.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to back the Orioles in this one, but I think I'm going to do it here anyway. I feel like the Cubs are a little bit hot, but I still feel like the Orioles are better. The only thing that concerns me, right, is what? Cole Irvin's ERA on the road, sitting at 12.46. That's the big deal there. If he can keep himself in check in this one, I think those bats can overcome. I mean, the Cubs, they do have impressive splits versus, lefties. They're hitting 262. But again, I feel like this Orioles team, they're, playoff contenders. I think they go ahead and get the job done. Also have that better bullpen, taking the Orioles today.
All right, Mindy will be on the O's here in this one. Let me get the right background up there. Mindy takes the O's here on the road with Irvin. Yeah, so far not great for Irvin, obviously. ERA close to 6. And like I said, Hendricks, ERA practically half that, 3.09 coming in. But, man, you just got to like the way the Orioles are going right now. I mean, no doubt.
Is our guy, is it Marco that went yesterday? Is he here to tell us how it went?
Oh,
that should have been a good game.
Marco was at the game yesterday.
Blue Jays.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I felt bad. There was the one little kid that they showed him at the end of the game being all sad in his Toronto hat.
Irvin, so far, mentioned that mentioned his 5.8 ERA, 8 ERA in 4 starts. So, he's better coming in out of the bullpen maybe, but Irvin gets the start here. Hendricks in his last 3 starts, 2.37 ERA, but I just got to like the way the Orioles are going right now. Uncomfortable laying it on the road here, maybe just a little bit, but I agree with you. I'm going to take the Orioles here with you, Mindy, for our first play.
We did it. Everyone.
That's the format of the show.
That's how we do it.
Makes the pick. Mindy makes the pick. She's our analyst, and I either agree or pivot, and that's how we've been getting these hot picks. That's all I can say about it, Mindy. You've been laying it out there, teeing it up like a softball.
Right.
All right. See what everybody has in this one. Also say hello to Tyrone. And here comes Gerardo with the Cubs first 5 in this one, but he'll take the Orioles money line. How about that for some handicapping? He's got this one being an exciting game. I always have a problem myself putting those non-correlated plays in, but that's confidence right there. Cubs for Bionic. Thomas Lewis here, Chicago money line. Fernando on that Cubs money line as well. Blake says, give me the Cubs game to go over. James Edward on the over. Fernando on the over. And Damian Betts says, give me Baltimore and the over. So, I don't know. Looks like mostly over there. See if we can't. Scotch got that. We see him in there to get that weather report. 7.5, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. But let me see if I can just get the exact details here. As far as I know it, I went over in that game yesterday.
Yeah. I was worried once it moved to 7. I laid off of it, so I was a little bit bummed I missed out on it, especially when it easily went to 9.
Yeah, no, on the show I gave that out. Also had Cubs as a premium winner yesterday. Winds expected to be blowing in from left field, 12 miles an hour once again. Similar conditions to yesterday. They were reported to be a little bit stronger even yesterday, but that was no problem as the runs were coming a little bit early there for the Cubs and Pirates. So, all right. We're on record here. Oh, James Edward with Baltimore as well. All right. continue on here without our first play, and let's get to the nighttime action here. This will be the Marlins and the Nationals. Alcantara, this one's going up here to 170 or so. Total 8.5 under 15.
I'm going to go ahead and try Sandy Alcantara today. I've been off of him most of this season just because his numbers have been bad. But Nationals coming off that extra innings, a win yesterday. And again, this is a Nationals team. I feel like that really can't ever blow anyone out. I maybe don't mind the Nationals on the run line. That's why I'm kind of going this way. Because I think I'm more apt than not to have the Marlins get it in the later innings here. I think they're a reliable squad, especially on the road here. I'm going to go ahead and take Sandy. He does have a .90 ERA, 4-0 record versus the Nationals. Have to hope he goes back into form here today. I don't like paying the 170, but I feel like today's the day I'm gonna do that.
All right, Mindy on the line here with Alcantara and the Marlins. Yeah, look, Washington, they really burned out the bullpen, I would think, and this is going to be a little bit of a effort for them, I would think, here to win this one. Just the line is just too high for me to want to lay this. It might be a little bit of a value with $1. I saw as high as $1.85.
85? Yeah.
Yeah, but Sandy, that 4.86 ERA. What is wrong with Sandy?
I don't know. Oh, he was like smoke last year.
Let's see what the chat has to say in this one. Very curious on this. I imagine they might be on Miami. Ron is on the run line, but James Edward is on the Nationals. Luis says go under. Blake says go under, but Fernando is on the over. And the thing is, I wasn't sure what Mindy was going to do. Obviously, that's the theme of the show. But
right,
man, who's going to pitch for these guys right now today? They're going to be down in the back end of the bullpen. Thomas says Marlins run line, Bionic on the run line. Lex Steele here today says, watch out for the rain today in Washington. He says, check it out, Ramon. Give us the update in this one. So
fish like water, don't they?
Yeah, advantage Marlins. Fernando on the Nationals, but Joel says take the Marlins run line. So I think we're seeing some mixed action here from the chat. 100% chance of rain is what I'm showing here tonight. So the postponement risk, however, according to one of the recognized baseball sites, listed at 5%. So it just looks like a pretty heavy night there as far as the rain is concerned. And yeah, boy, this one is pretty tough. I'm gonna take the Nationals on the run line here at +1.5 at -110. So a little bit of a challenge maybe in this one, although we both.
That's exactly what my notes say, so I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
Yeah. All right. Yep. So
we're just giving out 2 winners. That's all. In a close game.
Lex says it's certainly going to be a wet one here today. So we'll see. That does look like doom as far as this weather report is concerned. But maybe it'll be just weak enough to let them get it in. Okay. The Cardinals and the Mets here in this one. Close to a pick 'em, but maybe Mikolas is slightly favored here at $1.15 or so. Total 9 under 20.
Very interesting matchup. 2 teams that aren't playing so great. I'm going to go ahead and take the Mets, though, because the Cardinals are just horrible on the road. 14 and 21 here this season. I'll take the home team in this one.
All right, Mindy says take those Mets, and I'm going to agree. I don't think the Cardinals, Mindy, are fixing it anytime soon. Look, I've given them enough chances, I think, at this point. But at 15 games under 500, we're now just about 10 games away from the halfway point of the season, and unfamiliar territory certainly for the Cardinals. Nicholas got a 4 ERA, but a 5.73 ERA in the last two starts. And for McGill, he's been pretty bad, but we'll just trust the Mets bats here to get it done. I would say they've not doing much better. They've lost 9 of their last 11. So you got two teams kind of going in the wrong direction here at this point. But at the price, probably a pick 'em, maybe $1.05. I'll take them with you. Take a chance here. I'd imagine these two starters might not be long for this one. Let's take the Mets here today. Play number 2. Nope. You know what? Nope. I was going to say, man, Mindy, do you think there'll be pressure? We're on such a hot streak. I'd say no pressure, because we're probably going to have 6, 7, 8 plays, and we're not going to get them all right. Are we?
Are we? Yeah, I mean, more likely not, but yeah, I mean, we're going to hopefully come out on top no matter how we look at it.
James Edward likes the Mets. Well, I want to say hello to William Dryman here. He likes the Mets. Luis says the over. CTG says the under. Hi, Verley. Good to see you. Fernando over. Thomas is on the Mets. Luis says go over. Joel Costa on the Mets money line. Bionic on the Cards. This one, mixed bag here. I don't think it's a consensus, Thomas.
Not quite.
Too much going on. Mindy and I will cast the deciding vote here. Hello to Alan. Got a couple of games with Alan in the W tonight after yesterday's games. We already talked about it a little bit, Alan. Go back and check it out while we're doing the baseball. We had some comments on our results. Pretty good results last night, I think, for the team. Okay, Solo says take the Mets. All right, we will.
Yeah, why not?
All right, well, you can never get enough Yankees and Red Sox, so here we go again for another weekend series. Maybe they should let them play 19 games instead of 13, just these two teams. Anyways, here's the Red Sox, slight favorite here. It's down to maybe $1.15 or so, and the total's going up here on some reported steam, 9.5 over 20.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it is deja vu. Like, we just had this, didn't we? And the thing is, I was with the Yankees a lot because I've always felt like historically the Yankees have played better at home, but that's maybe not so much the case. The Yankees have actually been playing really well on the road. So I feel like both these teams are doing pretty well offensively. But I'm going to go ahead and try the Yankees here again today. I like the bullpen. They're scoring 4.74 runs a game, holding their opponents to 4. Red Sox, they're scoring 5.67 runs per game, holding their opponents to 5.33. So they allow more runs. And I think those Yankee bats are going to come to play here today.
All right, I'm down. Let's do it. I'm taking the Yankees with you, Mindy. We'll get them in a pick 'em or so, maybe even a little better right now if we get on that. Domingo Germán, pretty much 3 good outings in a row.
Yeah, Houck not so good. Yeah, Houck has not been necessarily good.
Yeah, well, he's got a 5.23 ERA. Oh, he's lost out of his last 6 starts. He's went 0-5. Red Sox just 4-8 in their last 12 games. Yankees, run into a little bit of a bump there, but you mentioned how decent they've been on the road. 18-13, so that's pretty decent, I'd say. Let's take them here in this one. I like that Germán up a couple of units, 2.5 units so far in his 12 starts, and Houck's down a couple of units so far this season. So, that isn't overwhelming results, but just will mention it, and we'll take the Yankees. We got another play. Look out.
Here we come. Getting them.
Just want to mention real quick. Let me check this out here. Everybody can check out the odd screen. Mindy and I already talked about that Cubs game a little bit, and we did mention, Mindy, in the game, the total 7.5 over 20. We mentioned the wind blowing in, but I think if you take a look at the odds right now at almost every book, that total's gone to 8. So just take note of that. If you
Ooh.
like the under, that's good. If you don't, get on one that over. I think you've missed out. We'll see. Maybe it'll come back, but definitely move to the over right now here as we speak. Let's continue on though with the rotation order here and move. Let me get the Yankees. I don't want to shortchange the chat here. It's all about the chat. And they're all over this one, Mindy, with Luis on the Yankees and Fernando on the Red Sox. Solo goes over. James Edward, Red Sox. Fernando over. Joel, Yankees first 5. Always like the derivatives because I know everyone likes to see a little bit something different. And the chat brings it to us. James Edward says go under and Red Sox. Damien on the Yankees money line. Thomas on the Yankees. Yeah, they kind of got it together without even Stanton. Well, been okay. First 5 under for CTG. Herman's got that pitcher prop here in this one, and he likes the Yankees as well. All right, there we go. Rockies and the Braves yesterday. Yeah, I mean, we had them. We had them in maybe a similar situation against them yesterday with Smith Shaver. They were up pretty big early, and they gave us that victory as well as Tony's pick too. I did have a premium on the under there. It didn't quite work out, but here it's Lamet and Schuster. The Braves are minus 230, 10, and the total is 10.5 now. Wow.
Yeah, I think I'll still be okay going over 10.5 today. I mean, both of these pitchers are not having good seasons. I think that's maybe the best way to say it. 12.46 ERA for Lamet on the road. Schuster, 4.79 ERA here at home. Lamet, he offers up 6.2 walks a game. So that's a bunch. And Lamet, he just hasn't been, I don't know, just not been good. I don't know how to say it. I'm kind of surprised he's maybe still in the rotation there a little bit. But I think he started out maybe as a reliever, if I remember. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go over the total.
Definitely. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, I'll get it up there. Sorry about that. Here it is, 10.5 now. Ooh. But Mindy says, go ahead and take it. Steam came in on the under. Mindy will go over. Steam came in on the over, of course. Yeah, sorry about that. No doubt about it. Rockies have gone under in 10 of their last 15 games here coming into this one, but Atlanta's gone over in 5 of their last 6. And Schuster, maybe he is starting to look a little better for sure. 3.74 ERA and 3-0 record in his last 4 starts. Lamet, 9 ERA in his last 3 starts. So I think for me, I'm going to take the Braves. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go Braves run line here. I'm scared on the total actually at 10.5. Maybe I'm just letting those biases come in that, wow, these, 10.5 and we're, in Atlanta. I mean, I know it's Atlanta, right up there with some of the highest scoring ballparks, but okay, here's Bionic on the Braves. Fernando will take the run line with me, and he'll also go over. Look at this, though. James Edwards says, give me that 220 or 2 whatever it is. I'll take $2. Lex says, like 2.5. What's that emoji there? Is that a train?
The Skull and Crossbones.
Oh,
okay. Poison.
James Edward under. CTG's got a team total over for the Braves today. Atlanta run line for Thomas. And, waiting on you, Lamet. If I would say, you talk about in the rotation or on the team, I mean, next stop, Lamet might be out of the league if he doesn't get it together. Joel says Braves run line. Burley Braves run line. Thomas Lewis says you're right on the over here. Matt D. He's got a little something for us. He says Atlanta money line and over. SGP. And Solo Rockies money line. So got some Rockies support in there, and I get it. I mean, but just seeing how it unfolded yesterday, I'm going to go Braves run line. Good luck to you on those Rockies, gang. And Mindy is on the over. Damien also said Atlanta run line. All right. Next up, the Blue Jays and the Rangers. Gonna get another series going with these guys, and Gosman on the favoritism on the road here. I get it. Gosman's been pretty hot. This is a big series, obviously, here, but $1.40, 9 under 15.
Yeah, you got two pretty good pitchers here. Gosman, 30.3% K rate versus the Rangers all time. And then you got Perez, 19.7% K rate versus this Blue Jays team, only allowing a 379 slugging percentage there. Perez, 1.4 ERA. To me, this looks like an under game. That's how I'm going to go. The bullpen also been playing pretty well for both of these teams. 3.82 ERA for that Blue Jays squad. And the Rangers only giving up 26 home runs in those late innings. So I'm going to go under the total. Have this one coming in right at about 8 runs.
I see it the same way. Look, the steam came in on the over. Perez, maybe he goes out there and gives you an honest effort. I don't know if it's overwhelming. He's still got an ERA over 4.5, and his last 3 starts, he's got an 8.4 ERA, but I like it better at home in this one. Yeah, Gausman, hey, he's favored for a reason, I guess, here, but he's often a little bit overrated. He hasn't exactly brought the money home for Toronto here necessarily, so I think the price is a little high. I'm not sure where I'm going to go with the side. I'm going to take the under with you, Mindy, here at 9. These two teams do produce some overs, certainly, right now, but Toronto's gone over in just 6 of their last 17 games, and 3 of Gausman's last 4 starts have gone under. Texas definitely going over right now. Only one of their last 9 has gone under, but I want under with you here. We're going to have some action tonight.
All right.
The chat here, and this one's going to have their plays. Let's take a look. It's going to be Luis on Texas. James is on the Rangers as well. Ron got us a pitcher prop. Perez over in his K prop, and the Rangers win. Here's Texas run line for CTG, and Damien says Rangers money line and under. Burley says take that plus money. I don't know if Thomas wants them, if he says that price is good. Bionic will take Rangers on the run line. And I definitely went up, and I thought that's kind of what I was going premium, Mindy. If you didn't, probably on the under in this one, as long as it stayed at that 9 now. So if you're on it, I'm on it. Solo on the over. Fernando likes the over, and hello to Jeremy Bryant. Good morning, Jeremy. Nice to have you. Yes. Oh boy, we're gonna be busy tonight with some action.
Right.
Let's keep it going. We're having a pretty good week here on the show. All right. Well, a lot of people talking about this series a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was just what I was watching the talking heads here. Pittsburgh with Hill on the road against Tehran. Tehran favored here. The Brewers. I mean, what's wrong? These guys aren't getting anything done right now. They've got Tehran though. Has come back, and he's looked like Julio Tehran from 10 years ago. I don't know if he can keep it up, but he's favored here tonight. $1.20. The total's 9.
Well, I'm going to back Tehran here tonight, Ramon. I'm going to take the Brewers. It's mostly basically a lot of the way that the Pirates are playing, and then they have to come into another ballpark, right? They've lost the last 5 of 7 road games. Just been slumping offensively, I think, too, here. And I just feel like Tehran has done pretty well on the mound. 1.48 ERA, can't complain there. Has a 20% K rate versus this Pirates team as well. And then you got the Brewers here. They're hanging in there, scoring 4.29 runs per game. The Pirates, they're sitting at just under 4 there as well. So for me, I think it might be a low scorer, but I'm going to go ahead and go with Toronto today. I'm taking the Brewers.
All right. I don't know if we're see what the chat's up to. We're not on the Brewers have lost 6 straight. Pirates have lost 6 of 8. It's the lesser of two evils here, I would think. A lot of people say that maybe the Brewers would at least could be able to get something done against soft tossing Hill, but Hill has still got 2 straight wins here. He's looked pretty good. I know everybody wants to bash him, and he's got a 4.35 ERA. Look, I agree, Tehran. Whatever's gone on with Julio and his 4-star, the problem is he's not getting any run support because the Brewers can't hit. They've gone under in all 4 of his starts. Get this, he's got a 1.48 ERA since he's returned, and the Brewers have gone under in all 4 starts. Well, that makes sense because Julio's been pitching well, but he's 1-2, and they've gone 1-3 in his start. So the score has been, low scoring games. Brewers have gone under in 13 of their last 21, but you said low score. I don't know. I'm going to go over.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking me into the under, but you were talking me into the over. Okay, I got it.
Right. I've got to expect. Look, if Julio Tehran comes on and the Brewers turn around and he goes on to have this season, finishes like a 2.5 ERA or something, and gets him into the playoffs. Remember, he was a cast-off. He was, he was pitching. Remember, he pitched with my Tijuana Toros. He was pitching in the minor leagues, AAA, and got released out of that so he could go join the Brewers. And, well, he's come through at least with some good efforts. He's not winning games. It's not his fault. Let's see what the chat's on in this one. Okay, James says he loves Rich Hill, making him money. But, he's up a unit so far this year. Fernando says Pirates on the money line. Thomas will be on the Brewers here. Fernando also on the over. Here's Bionic saying the Brewers. I'll put that in there. I don't know. They're not scoring any runs at this point. Nobody wants to comment on this game. Here's Verlies to take the Pirates on the money line. Joel says Brewers with Mindy. And Ron said the same thing. I was talking him on the under, and no, I want the over. Tehran to regress, get that positive negative positive progression. And here's CTG first 5 under with these 2 pitchers. Okay, thanks everybody. We can't agree on them all, Mindy. We could, I guess.
Yeah, we could.
All right, Mindy. Hey, who called the same game parlay? Ohtani to homer and Angels to win. That was me.
There you go.
I don't do any of these same game parlays like I'd like, but I think I quoted that one anyway.
All I saw out there on the interwebs is everyone mad that Ohtani didn't get the strikeout prop. He only got 3. He needed like 5.5.
Oh, everyone was so upset with this guy. God, he just flicks that bat and that thing goes flying. He's just an incredible machine. Really, I don't care if he's got 3.5 ERA. It's still a good ERA. He's a pitcher. He's really kind of you think of him as just a stud, but he's a little bit of a craftsman out there too. Anyways, Mindy, the Angels going to be favored on the road, of course. It's down to $1.45 here. These are your 2 teams.
Right. I should be there. What am I doing? Instead, I'm going to the College World Series. What?
I'm sure you can give a great analysis of this one. And this one is 145 now, 9.5 under 20. So the line's pretty much flip-flop from 9.5 over 20 to 9.5 under 20.
Yeah, I also hope CTG that Otani stays as well. I don't know if he will, but we'll have to wait it out. I feel like if this Angels team can perform a little bit better, it might be okay, right? But yeah, Sandoval, he's kind of had a little bit of a inconsistent season, and then Brady Singer has had a horrible season. He just gave up 4 runs against the Orioles here in his last outing. Just been pretty bad. I kind of feel like I'm sitting here looking at a minus 145 as a pretty good deal for the Angels. That's where I'm going today. I'm taking the Angels. Again, the Angels haven't been scoring a ton of runs, only averaging about 4. But the Royals, they're sitting at like 4.2, Angels 4.8. We talked about the Angels bullpen being pretty good. I just think Singer's having too bad of a year to get things started in this game.
Yeah, the 6.5 ER. Steam came in on the Royals. I guess the Sharps are just betting numbers here at this point. Or, Sandoval has struggled, though, a bit. Last 5 starts, 0-5 with a 6.4 ERA. But Singer, yeah, pretty weak numbers, certainly with that 6.5 ERA. So, $1.45. I'm not so excited about laying it on the road, but that's the only direction that I can go in this one. Cannot back the Royals. I will mention the Angels have gone under in just 4 of their last 20 road games. They do produce a little bit on the road. I thought at 9.5, I was kind of like, well, it's getting up there a little bit. Steam came in on the over as well. I'll go Angels with you, Mindy. Looks like we got quite a few plays.
That's number 5.
Today, kind of feeling the chat's going to be pretty much Angels on this one.
Mostly. I see James Edwards. He's still out there liking this Royals team.
Fernando, Bionic, Thomas, all on the Angels. First 5 for CTG. Fernando also first 5 over. Same for Burley. Yeah, feels like Angels. Oh, here they come. Okay. Yeah, I see now. Hello to Steph. Good morning.
Halo.
Did I miss? Oh, there's James's play. Sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, I missed a couple plays back there. I think there's James Edward. Let me get that in there. Fernando, maybe.
I'm not convinced. We'll see.
Well, and here's
why they play the game, right? That's why they play the game.
Mindy, the Singer's one of as bad as it gets. My records show that he's he's flatlining. He's not lost any units this year when he's been out there. They've won enough games with him as an underdog to cover some of those, pad those numbers a little bit. So even with his record, he's 0 as far as units up or down this season. So Joel says first 5 for the Angels. And there's Luis on the over. All right. Okay, Mindy, we're putting our record on the line here today with some of these. Let's see here. Now we're getting to that part of the show where we didn't have the line out yet. This one between, let me see if I can get this here, the Tigers and the Twins. Nope. Can't say that I have it yet, but I will say I believe it's going to be Tyler Alexander here. This one's going to be a little difficult for us, Mindy. Anybody have a line out there yet on this one? This is supposed to be your first look at the betting board on YouTube every morning, but right now I'm not seeing much of a line here. Tigers and Alexander, Twins and Ryan. I imagine that the Twins are going to be, $1.60, $1.70. I'm sure Mindy has her line available. She can give us. Could it be $1.80? And the total, I imagine, is probably going to be 8 over 20, 8.5 under 20, somewhere about there. I guess. Let's see here.
Yeah, well, if I look at Alexander, the ERA, 5.23. If I take a look at Ryan, 2.9. So again, if I'm just going based off of pitchers and hitters, I'm going to go ahead and take the Twins. I know that line's going to be up there, so I'm just going to take the Twins on the run line. I think they can beat them by a couple here today.
Yeah, I would think so. I don't want to know about Ryan 2.9 ERA so far this season. The Tigers, they keep finding a way to at least get the money. Yesterday, I know, Mindy and Tony, they both laid the Twins yesterday, and on my video, I did my sponsor video, and I said, well, Tony and Mindy are on the other team, but I'm taking the Tigers in this one. So,
right, and look who won.
yeah, does feel like a mismatch though today.
Right.
Twins need it, man, but the Tigers, they kind of fight a little bit to get that run line.
Didn't the Tigers come back and win that one yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay.
See what the chat has to say. Did they get the line in the chat?
Yeah, that was the one that I had the under, and they scored the 3 runs in the 9th to mess me all up. That's right.
Twins will do it here. James Edwards says, go Tigers. Fernando. Yeah, Tyler Alexander, I believe, will be at least a bulk pitcher, I would think, here. So Twins run line. All right, this will be one. I'm leaving it up to the chat, and it seems like they want to run line with you. So why not? Mindy?
We're doing it.
Well,
like blind faith. All right.
You're hot. You're red hot, Mindy Hahn, right now. So Fernando leading the Twins in the over. We don't have much on this one, even at this point. It's already 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. You got to wake up, you guys. Game's in 10 hours. But the bookmakers aren't convinced yet with the Tigers' plans, it looks like. So, all right. Maybe one more here. Okay, let's move on. Feel bad about that. Usually we have the lines out there.
Yeah. Lay down, Jim.
Yeah, the Reds here with Abbott. It's been great so far, and they're going to go in to take on the Astros today with JP France here in this one. Astros big favorite. They are down, however, to $1.60, so maybe the sharps thinking that we're a little overpriced. Let's call it $1.60. And the total has gone to 8.5 over 15.
Yeah, well, you talked about Abbott, right? He made a good first impression. He only gave up 1 hit, Ramon, just 1 hit, and held his first 2 opponents scoreless. So I want to go ahead and give him a chance here today. If I take a look at the Reds on the run line, they're like the 3rd best cover. They're sitting at 61% there. They're 34-20 when they're underdogs, of course. And I think they've been playing pretty well, and they hit pretty good on the road. So I'm going to take the Reds here on the run line.
All right, Mindy, on the Reds here, plus the 1.5 with Abbott. Yeah, so far so good. Reds, they've got these prospects a little bit different than some of the teams that maybe are bailing in a little bit. And long way to go still for the Reds to any type of credibility, but certainly here Abbott's been solid so far. He could do worse here in his first 2 starts. 11 2/3 innings pitched now totally from those stats that you mentioned. Reds are hot. They've won 8 of their last 10. Meanwhile, the Astros have won just 3 of their last 9. But man, down to $1.60 in a game that, well, was actually at $2 at some point yesterday at a few books. So I'm not so sure on this one, but now down to 8.5. It seems like these teams do put up a few more runs. I'm going to go over in this one. Steam came in on the under, but I'm gonna go over here. Astros at home. I think Abbott might be in for a little bit of a welcoming to the major leagues. Maybe what I'm feeling here in this one after his good performances so far. So, all right. We'll mention, Mindy, that it was some widely reported steam that did come in about 15 minutes ago at plus $1.65 in this game that has driven this one much lower. So steam did come in on the Reds. That won't change my feeling necessarily, but I'm on the over anyways as my pick. Mindy's on the run line. The chat has some comments on this one. Hello to Lil Walt. Wow, hello. Welcome, Lil Walt.
Nice.
Young Shard's here today.
Young
Shard Louis says Reds. James Edward, Reds on the run line. Fernando, Reds and over. Thomas says take the Reds. Bionic says take the Reds. Everyone's on the Reds except maybe me. Fernando says maybe first 5 over for him. Let's continue on. Mindy on the Reds run line. I'm on the over. The Guardians travel into the Diamondbacks, and the Diamondbacks don't have a pitcher. What happened? Here's Zach Gallen. We put it up there. We know it's Zach Gallen and Tristan McKenzie. Should be an outstanding matchup on the mound if you go with the way these guys are going so far. McKenzie, he's got a 4.5 ERA, but I think everyone thinks he's looked pretty decent so.
Uh-oh. Did I lose you? Or is that me? Ramon, did you go again? I hope not. Darn it. We were doing so good. 2 days in a row here. Oh, all right. Well, hopefully Ramon comes back on soon. Oh, it's me this time? It's your Mindy. Looks like I'm still on and Ramon's maybe not if I'm looking at the broadcast, right? Oh, man. All right. Well, I thought we were just getting started there with what? The A's and the Phillies. Oh, there he goes. Okay. So yeah, on this one here, I think with this Phillies team, and again, I've been talking about the A's quite a bit, right? They always score 2 to 3 runs, no matter what, it seems. You can't keep them down. And again, they're just playing tough for whatever reason right now. So for me, I think I'm going to go ahead and go over in this one. I'm not sure if the A's can continue this madness or if the Phillies can continue their run. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the total in this one here. I think it's at 8.5. I'm going to go over. I think it comes in at about, my numbers show about 9.4. And that's based upon these elevated ERAs here. So you got 6.75 for Walker, 4.15 for Sears. And then, of course, you have the A's bullpen. Pretty bad, but we know that they've been playing a little bit better here as of late, right? 5.71 ERA, but May's done a pretty good job after he's come off the IL. And the Phillies, theirs is elevated a little bit here to 4.27 there in that one. So hopefully Ramon can get back here soon. So yeah, it looks like, I think that we were in the right one, right? Or maybe I went to the wrong game. I can't remember now. A tornado, JJ, what? That's crazy. I know I always worry about the College World Series here because we get tornadoes often, and it seems like it does happen here during the College World Series often. So I feel bad for folks that have not experienced the tornadoes and then are suddenly here not knowing what to do. The nice thing is there is a lot of underground bunkers there, at the field. Oh, we were talking about the Cleveland game. Well, shoot, I went to the wrong one. Oh yeah, it was Cleveland and Diamondbacks. Well, I might have to give my spiel here all over again. But in this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm taking the Guardians here today. I'm taking Tristan McKenzie. I like him over Zach Gallen. Again, McKenzie, he should have won his first outing, but instead lost in the later innings. I don't know if it's necessarily his fault. So yeah, I like the Guardians here. Again, they're scoring 4.23 runs per game here, 7.63 slugging percentage. So they're actually hitting the ball pretty good. I have this one probably staying a little bit under. So I think that gives me a better chance with Tristan McKenzie here as well. And then Gallen, geez, I think he's been, lights out pretty much. But again, he's one that you might want to go ahead and take him on a first 5. And then look at something later on. I think that's what a lot of folks have been doing here so far. So yeah, we'll have to take a look. But it looks like here, Ramon, he just texted me. He said 1 minute. Maybe he's trying to get back on. So yeah, again, Fernando, he said we're on the Arizona game. So I kind of messed that up moving forward a little bit. So who do you guys like? Luis likes Cleveland here on the money line. And Ron says Gallen's been lights out, which we all know. What's your pick, Ron? What do you got in this one? And then Rick, he says, what does steam mean? And where did that come from? All right. Yeah. So it's basically Ramon likes to watch the line service. That's something that I've never really done, right? I take all of the analytics and I go based off of that. Ramon is different, right? So that's why I think we work so well together. So he looks at handicapping differently. So basically what the steam is when you're watching, say, a line service or a line screen and you see everything start to pop up. Ramon, we're talking about what does steam mean and where does that come from Rick?
Thank you. And that had nothing to do with our problems from my Wi-Fi the other day. The power did go out here just for about 2 minutes, I'd say, right there. So back. Thank you, everybody. So unlike yesterday, or no, a couple two or 3 days ago when I had some Wi-Fi issues. I guess technically it was, but we had violent winds here overnight here in Las Vegas. So yeah, so a steam is a coordinated move. That when all the sports books change the line basically at the same time based on the events of one or more sports books moving the line based on either a coordinated bet by
lots of folks
betting groups or an injury or news that comes out that forces a rapid change in the line. So hopefully that explains that. I'm sorry, I'm just catching up here on that. And does that give a
Yeah. So basically the steam is where that line is moving. So the steam is on, say, the over, or the steam is on the Angels. So basically it just means that you're getting a lot of action, a lot of push towards a particular team or line.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll just mention, for example, when I mentioned that the Reds game, for example, that we just mentioned, that line was when I brought it to, or that Cubs total. What happened was the whole line was moving, with the whole thing was shifting across the whole betting landscape there, and that's what triggers it. The line's moving everywhere, and the other books are reacting. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. Where did we leave off?
I guess I kind of messed up because when she went off, I thought we were on the Phillies and the A's, but we were not. We were on the Guardians and the Diamondbacks. So I might have gave my rundown on the Phillies and the A's, and then I went back to the Guardians and the Diamondbacks. So my play here is going to be the Guardians.
Okay, Mindy, on the Guardians here. Let me just get my bearings together a little bit.
Yeah, I said, I know, Gallen, he's been lights out here as of late, but I like McKenzie a lot. And I kind of feel like it wasn't necessarily, I know he got the earned runs in that last one. I kind of feel like they should have won that game. Just saying.
Yeah, for McKenzie's got a 4.5 ERA so far. Zach Gallen, one of the best in the league, certainly right now with that 3 ERA at this point, certainly doing very well. This line, let me see, is it $1.50 still? Well, my computers went down too, so kind of waiting.
Right.
Let me kind of restart. I can catch up a little bit here as we go along, but let's see. So Gallen, I don't know, maybe that price looks a little cheaper. I don't know. Guardians had a pretty good time yesterday. San Diego got the series. San Diego, we'll talk about them in a minute, but they haven't won a series all year, I don't think. Or swept a series anyway. Swept a series.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Of course, they've won a series, but they haven't swept a series all year. So, all right. In this one, I'm going to be on the – I don't know. I'm going to take the Guardians here in this one. I'm sorry, Minnie. What did you take?
The Guardians. Are we agreeing?
Is it a money line play?
Well, I mean, I'll take it on the run line. I don't mind.
Okay. What's the price there?
On that one there, it's like 160,
Ooh,
but I'm not sure if that's what it is here. Let me take a look.
yeah, it's going to be. I got it now. Computer's booted back up over here. $1.65 or more. We might even be laying $1.70 at some spots, but I'll take it with you. Let's take the Guardians here with McKenzie. Look, Guardians still have that bullpen ERA of 3. This should be a decent series. Let's go Guardians today. All right. Okay. I'm almost all caught up here. Let's see what the chat had in order in this one.
It's going to be crazy to try to find it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you can look.
Yeah, because I see most of them on the other game there. Give him a little bit of a minute here. Okay, here's Jared on Cleveland. Ron's on the Guardians money line. And maybe we'll just leave it at that. Oh, here's the Diamondbacks first 5 for Ron. And Luis is on Cleveland with us.
There we go.
So
yeah, the hometown Thomas Lewis got him some
and
Cleveland.
Fernando on the over here in this one. All right, we're on Cleveland plus a 1.5. All right, and you said you also had prepared the Phillies.
I did.
Did you go all the way through in this one?
Yeah, I did my breakdown of the Phillies and the A's, and I am taking the over, Ramon. This A's team still finds a way to put in, 2 to 3 runs a game easily. And they've been a lot of times getting 5 or 6. And the Phillies bats, I think, are waking up a little bit as well. Jared's giving me a horse race. Nice.
Yeah, for the A's, we know their story right now. I mean, I guess I'd still call them the talk of the league at this point, despite, we were on them yesterday with the run line. So, and you also have the premium on the under in that game. Remember, you got, I thought, over in that game, and you got the best of that one for sure. So, boy, I'm going to take the Athletics here. I'm going to try one more time. Going to go take them on the run line here in this one. Mindy will go over. I'm scared at 8.5 now. I was thinking this game would go under. Been some movement from pros on the under. I'm gonna take the Athletics on the run line. I'm throwing out the window now all those stats about winning 1 out of every 5 games. Come on, Oakland's hot, playing well. Mindy's on the over. I'm on the Athletics plus a 1.5 in this one. Thanks for bringing back your plays, Luis. Run line here, Fernando. Athletics first 5, and Sears. We've talked about it, right? I mean, some of these Oakland pitchers, they're thin in the minors supposedly. But, they got Sears from the Yankees, and all of a sudden he's looking good. Politician for the people. How about it? Oakland team total over. Welcome. I think we've actually had P for P here once before. I see Phillies run line there from Steph and Athletics money line here. So,
what is that A's team total? I'm going to take a look real quick. Because, again, they've been getting that 2 or 3, I know, on the team totals like almost every day, Ramon.
3.5.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, Curtis, thank you for that comment when I went down. That's cool. Cool for you to say. I know that you guys are having some fun at my expense with me gone. I see here. If anybody can take it, I can, I guess. Huh? Okay, I'll take A's on the run line here. We'll see. Maybe the Phillies come in and bring them back down to earth. But right now, a lot of momentum. I'll say this about the whole situation. I mean, I've already banged on it for 2 days about the move here to Las Vegas for the A's. But the attitude right that, oh, one city doesn't want us. We didn't even know if the other city wanted us. Nobody wants us, so let's just go out and play out of our minds for a while because nobody wants us.
Oh, funny.
Good series here. The Rays will come in and take on the Padres. Padres definitely playing better. The Rays. Oh, would you say they struggled in Oakland, Mindy?
Yeah.
The Rays aren't giving anything back, certainly, but now they got what a pitching matchup. I'll call this the game of the night.
Uh-oh, look out. Game of the night.
Well, McClanahan and Darvish, you got to love this pitching matchup.
Right. Oh,
I'm showing 115, 7.5 over 20. Oh, wow. 7.5 over. That total that I have on the screen there, though, is just a typo. Should be 7.5. Never was 8.5.
I want 8.5. Oh, I guess I could buy it, right? But yeah, I think this one's going to be really tough. I love you, Darvish, but then I kind of feel like I have maybe one of the best pitchers in the league on the mound. That's won 86% of his starts, and that might be the no-brainer. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll probably go ahead and take the Rays on the money line here today. Basically, I'm not totally convinced that San Diego is back with the bats. I want to believe it, I really do. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Rays.
Well, we know Tatis is back with the bat, certainly, and
I want to believe it. I want to.
Yeah. Well, Cleveland got out. They smashed Weathers in the last. Weathers was all like, "Oh, I got a new pitch. I went to a two-seamer, and I was really getting some, some good action on the ball." Of course, he was pitching in Colorado, so he's probably getting a little bit different movement from the ball. Comes back home and just gets smashed by Cleveland right out of the gate. So you should take that into mind for you popping off to the media like, hey, I'm back. I found a new pitch. No, you were pitching in Colorado. You went to a two-seamer because you're breaking, the breaking ball doesn't break as much in Colorado. So anyways, Weathers looked terrible. But at least you got, Darvish pushed back to this one. Maybe they thought they could move it around a little bit and still get a win yesterday, but they do have Darvish here to face McClanahan. Great matchup. McClanahan still getting it done no matter how you look at it. He's awesome. And I'll agree with you, Mindy. Let's take him to beat my Padres today. This should be, I would think these guys can go deep right now in this game. Let's see their first fives unders in the chat, I would imagine. I just think it's a good pitching matchup, yeah. Fernando's on the Padres here. And Rick, let's see. Fernando's on the under as well. Luis says Padres. We went over that, Jared. I think we went over the Boston Yankee game. Check it out. James will go over. And Ron says McClanahan to record the win. Politician for the people says the Rays will hit Darvish. Not sure, though, on the side. Tampa Bay for Michael. Thomas on the Padres here. Fernando on the Padres. And Ron's on the under. Bionics on the Rays. And Jared says, give me a prop on McClanahan's over, a K-prop here. And, what's that one? Burley. Under and the Nerfy in the first five under. Now that's the kind of correlation I like to see. Not just saying the under in that one. I mean, just everything kind of tying in together. You win all those bets if it all goes according to plan.
Right.
Let's take the Rays. Boy, we must have 7 or 8 at this point.
8. That's right.
Oh boy, we're not even done yet. Kind of wish we were the way it's going, but here with the White Sox and the Mariners. White Sox here, underdogs. Mariners $1.20. This total has dropped. It's 7.5 over 20.
Yeah, White Sox really gave that game away last night, Ramon. They probably should have let Cease have another couple innings, perhaps. But of course, we got it still on the run line, so we were okay there. So I kind of feel like I got to go back on this White Sox team. It's one of those that they've won 7 of their last 10 games now. Also, they've, going up against a pitcher with a 1.3 whip. They put runners on. Seattle struggled a little bit at the plate, but I feel like the bullpen has been, better also. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and take the White Sox here, get a little plus money right now.
All right. Mindy here on the White Sox with Kopech.
O'Brien, woo!
Yeah, Wu has not, he's got a 10.8 ERA so far. Mariners bullpen certainly about a run better, I would think, than the White Sox at this point. So, I'm not sure. Seattle definitely needs to get things rolling at home here a little bit. I'm not going to be able to. We got a lot of plays. I'm probably going to get with the total in this one. I feel like it was going to be a premium at 8, but if it's 7.5 now, I don't feel any. I'm going to give it out here on the show and go under 7.5 in this one with these two pitchers right now. Here's Kopech. He's gone under in 7 of his last 9 starts. White Sox have gone over in just 3 of their last 12 games. Seattle's playing a few more overs, but I'm going to take the under in this one at 7.5. Mindy will take the White Sox here. Let's see what the chat has to say. Hello to Corday. How you been?
Yeah, Jared had a nice hit there with Dylan Cease with those Ks.
Oh boy, Cease was rolling.
I know. I was surprised they took him out when they did.
Yeah.
All about the numbers, I guess.
But a big time comeback there at the end anyway for the Dodgers to tie it, and then the White Sox, 4-4 at that point. Let's see here. Here's Thomas Lewis on Seattle, James Edward on Seattle, Fernando's on the White Sox and over. Luis on the White Sox as well. All right, and let's see. Jared was loving it, he says. Yep, Twins was a play, Ron. Burley says go under here in this one. That's what I did. Vinny says take the White Sox. All right, one more, and I think I've just seen the information come across.
Wow. So, is it there?
Yep, we did get the info on the Dodgers. Let me see if I can get that, because we know we didn't have a pitcher listed. Andres will probably get some of the work, but we are seeing the Dodgers starter here will be Emmett Sheehan, and he'll be making his major league debut. Former Boston College pitcher.
Okay. I don't know this guy at all.
Yeah. See what I can get for you here real quick without delaying the show too much. But Sheehan, 23 years old, was taken in 2021. Last year he was in high A and double A, 68 innings, 2.91 ERA. This season, not a top-tier prospect, but so far, double A, great results, 1.86 ERA and 53 and a third innings. Strikeout rate, get this, 41%, 11% walk rate. So he'll have to be careful here pitching to major league pitchers. But 211 BABIP and stranding 91% of his runners. That's about all I can give you reading this story without reading it verbatim. I'm just kind of, doing some speed reading or something there.
Right.
But let me get it on the screen at least here and see if we can. We might even be able to get a line on this one. So that sounds like he's a starter and can run a little bit deep here for Mr. Sheehan. And the line is 150, 9 under 15.
All right. Well, it does sound like he is decent, right? And I know you've kind of talked about before that the Dodgers make almost any pitcher look good, right? I mean, that's kind of how it is when you have that kind of stout lineup in behind. But again, the Dodgers have that struggling bullpen, and that's another thing that always worries me a little bit. Even though you have that really dangerous lineup, they need like Greg Gagne back, right? Something like that. But yeah, I feel like the Giants here, they play pretty well both sides of the ball as of late. I'm going to go Giants in this one. They're playing well. They've won 9 of 10 here on the road, scored 5 or more runs on those splits when they are away. And again, on base percentage, 9.31 in those road starts. So I'm taking the Giants here.
All right, Mindy, on the Giants. What do you think, Mindy? Run line or money line?
I don't know. Do we have a?
It's plus 1.5 minus 155 or so.
Well, we'll see. I would take that 155.
You'd rather take the run line?
Sure.
Okay, because I like the Giants as well. I'm sure we'll see mostly Sean Manaea. It's funny because the way they've been working it, he comes in. Brevy is we know he's the standard opener, if you will, for the Giants. And then last time we saw Brevia go 2 innings. I think Jake Junis went 2 innings, and then Manaea came in, I think, for like 5 innings. So that's the way the Giants are kind of running it. I know nobody gets too excited about Manaea, but nonetheless, I'll take him with you here in this one. Luis is on the Giants, so we've got a lot of plays. Let's say it for what it is. Ron will take the Dodgers here in this one. Fernando, Dodgers, and over. So, okay, probably not a lot of opinion on that game. We'll just get done with it, and we'll take the Giants on the run line here. Probably everyone wants to read up a little bit on their pitcher before they make any calls on this one. That's a look at baseball. 9 plays or what?
9.
Oh,
that's
my
what Ron
gosh.
said. Did we make it 9? Woo! We did.
Woo! Woo! Pitcher. Okay, we got to get this show moved. That delay costs us some time. Let's get right over.
Yeah, like at least like 3 minutes. That's terrible.
Felt like 30 for me. I was ready, just about to hit the phone, and then the internet, the monitors came back on, the scoreboard came back on. Okay, we've got 2 games in the W today.
Yeah, we made it. All right.
Mercury and Mystic. Stay tuned. We're going to preview the College World Series as well. Hey, head into our Discord before we get to that point. And let me just tell you, because we have in there preview. There's a College Baseball World Series preview program, if you will, with a bunch of stats and everything. Check it out in the Discord. All right, Mindy, in this one, you got the Mystics. Big favorite here. They're favored by 11.5. Steam came in on the Mystics. They were as low as 10. And the total here is, I believe this total's moved down on some widely reported Steam. Currently, the total on this one is going to be, still 157.5.
All right. Well, I would like to go over that total of 157.5. Mm-hmm. I like where the Mystics, how they've been playing. They're shooting, 46%, I think, from the field. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the total here in this one. I'm expecting this one to get into the 80s.
All right. Mindy says go over Phoenix and Washington. Yeah, maybe the Mystics have that line is, look, Mercury's, what can you say? They have not been good at all, but the Mystics have been a terrible favorite so far. Terrible. But they it's weird because they actually win. They're at that point where they win the game. They're 5-4, but against the spread, they're 1-7 as a favorite. So I'm gonna still lay it I'm trying to be cute about it, but hello to Ash. And here's the big story. Ellen says no Brittany Griner. She's got a hip injury. So one of the things that has been going right for Phoenix, which is 2-6 so far, ATS as well.
Yeah, they didn't have so good of a second half with her being out. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
So looks like that she will not play tonight, I would say. Ron does take Phoenix. Ash is on Phoenix as well. Maybe it'll work out for Phoenix. Maybe I don't think she's someone that's going to take the team down necessarily when she's in the lineup. We know that last year when Brittany was out, Phoenix had all sorts of problems as well. So I'm going to take Washington in this one to roll, and Mindy will take the over here with Phoenix and Washington. All right. Lynx and Sparks in this one. The Sparks are a 5-point favorite. The total 162.5.
Oh, goodness. I think I'm going to go ahead and go back here on the Lynx today. I like the points here. I feel like they're playing decent on the road. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go Lynx, and I'm going to take the points. I feel like if I've taken the points, I've done better than not here this season so far.
Well, I know that our picks in the WNBA, when we've agreed, we've been pretty strong. So let's take the Lynx here, +5. It looks like the Sparks are going to be a home and away type of team so far. Maybe, I don't know. They've been rolling at home thus far. So I want to take the Lynx tonight if we're getting 5 points. Yeah, we've got to have one in the WNBA, certainly here. And I'm going to agree with Minnie. Hello to Scott Smart. Scott, hey, where you been? Good to see you. Great to see you here. Yeah.
Yes.
So, all right. Yeah, Lexi Brown out tonight for the Sparks. That also seems like should be a bit of a factor too, especially if Shanae. I thought she was also a game time decision. So let me see if there's been any update on that here the way I see it. Shanae Ogumake, she is questionable. Jasmine Thomas also questionable. So, there's definitely a few injuries right now on the Sparks. Clouden could be out as well. So Shepard will be out for the Lynx. Aerial Powers also out in this one. We know Miller's been out for a while, so missing plenty of players here. Let's take a look at that total. We'll see. Right now, 162.5. Open as high as 165.5. I don't have a feeling this one's going to be. Ash does like it over. My feeling was right there, just kind of glancing at it. It will not get there, but we'll see. We're going to be on this one together, Mindy, here. Make it 10, Ron says. Give us the Lynx. Okay. We're not done. We're going to, real quick, Mindy is in Omaha, Nebraska. She's been to the College World Series many a times.
Many a times. Probably, I would say, how many times? 30?
And, well, we don't want to talk about age here, but she's been to Rosenblatt Stadium. That's how long she's been around. She used to go to the back when it was at Rosenblatt. So now big, beautiful new stadium.
But now we just have a family brick that sits where Rosenblatt stood. So that's all we got out of the deal. But at least we're there for eternity, right?
Let's bring her in here to talk about these games, Mindy. Like I said, head into the Discord. Did I put it in there? No, I didn't do that yet. Let me do that. There is a preview, a betting preview in the Discord for the College World Series, and you guys can check that out here after the show. Put there, right there, the Discord. All right, Mindy. Fernando said, Fernando, we're on the Lynx plus the points.
The Lynx.
Yep.
Do you link your own sausage?
And, and in the other game, it was Mindy was on the over, and I was on the Mystics. Okay, here we go, Mindy, with the first game. Oral Roberts. They're the long shot here in this tournament, but they don't seem to look like long shots here. TCU is a pretty big favorite here, minus $1.65. And the total here, I believe, let me check this. So talk about some steam. This total is all the way down to, I want to say 11. There's some 12s out there now, so mostly 12s. Some 11 and a halfs there are juiced up, but the total is definitely moving lower here in this one. TCU favored minus 165. I'll call it 12 right now, but looks like it could be going a little bit lower even.
Yeah, I find this to be a pretty interesting matchup, right? Because TCU is a pretty big favorite in this one, sitting at minus 165. That TCU team batting average 299. That TCU ERA 4.73. So if I look at Oral Roberts, right, they're the ones with all the better stats. It could just be, where they play in the league, but I liked what they did against Oregon State, those folks up there.
Some wild games. Those
Right?
Oregon games.
So, I mean, it's kind of hard when you're trying to compare conferences, but it's like, do I say the Big 12 is better than the Pac-12 or the Mountain West? I mean, it's hard to say. I think, though, I'm going to go ahead and go with Oral Roberts. I'm going to take him here in this one as underdogs. Only because I have a hard time laying 165 with TCU. That's my big deal, especially when they don't hit as well. And this is going to come down to hitter pitching matchups. That's the way it is. I know they'll probably each bring out their aces. And again, TCU has that higher ERA as well. I'm going to go Oral Roberts here, upset in the first game.
All right, Mindy's going to come in on Oral Roberts here against TCU, and I can't disagree. I mean, I've got to consider this price. It just seems a little high. I think you got to respect what Oral Roberts did in that series against Oregon. Sure, they had some big time sketchy moments against the Ducks. They blew that 8-0 lead.
Right.
I remember, but the pitching was up and down, but they found a way. Klecker's going to be the starter here. He's been very good. 2.17 ERA over the last. Oh gosh, I was reading it on the preview thing. You guys check it out. 5 or 6 starts, something like that. He's just a freshman, but he looks much more poised out there. Like I said, Omaha's a big park, so I think it'll be fine. And Oral also, they might have the best closer in the whole tournament with Denton. So really got to string hits together here, and I don't think the big bombs are going to occur quite as frequently. Oral plays great small ball, Mindy, for sure. TCU is going to sell out here. That's the only thing that does worry me. I think they look. I don't think they look at the odds necessarily and say we win. I think everybody knows that TCU's favored, so they're like, let's go out there with our throw all the best pitching at them, like you said, get that first win, and then worry about it later. I think that's the attitude of every team. I think that's the way you've got to approach this tournament. In this format, get the win, never save pitching, just take your chances if you need to get desperate and keep throwing out the good arms, and you could just see who's healthy, who's got something left if you could get them in there. So I'm going to take Oral Roberts here. I think we can get $1.40 or better in this one, in game one. There's probably a run line we could probably get involved with, and I don't know, Mindy, by the time we get backstage, maybe we'll look at it on the run line. But here I think we've only got this to deal with here. I haven't seen a run line yet. Actually, I'm sure it'll be plus 1.5, probably minus $1.20, $1.25 or 30 or so. So anybody on this at all? I don't see much here for the College World Series. So let's just move on to the next game. I don't see any picks here. All right. Check out that preview if you want. All right, Mindy, the nightcap here. 2 hot teams coming in. Virginia, they really turned it up and look good coming in here. Florida certainly got to be respected with their top showing this year. Really just behind Wake, kind of towards the end here. Good on Wake. We'll see him. We'll see him tomorrow, and I don't know. Might be still some value on him a little bit here to win the whole thing. I don't know, but Florida's $1.50 here. and the total is 10.5 under 25.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, like, I kind of think Wake probably, takes the tourney if we kind of look at it, but you got
I
Virginia
was
and
going to ask you.
Florida. You got Virginia and Florida, they're sitting right there. I think they're even money odds, ranking third and fourth, something like that in there. I know that C-Man wants me to be on the Gators, but I can't do it, Ramon. I can't do it. Florida here, 4.52 ERA compared to 3.77 for Virginia. Florida, maybe a little bit hotter bats, 2.93. Oh, wait, no. Virginia has the hotter bats, Ramon, 3.335 compared to 2.93 batting average. So for me, I see Virginia with the hotter bats. I see Virginia with the better pitching. I see Virginia out of the ACC having, for me, a more difficult schedule than the SEC. That's kind of just how I personally see that. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Virginia today.
All right, we got to have one challenge on the show, I guess. And in all fairness, I mean, maybe we can grade this. I'll give you a run and a half, just between us, because Florida's favorite. I mean, I might even have to lay the juice to that, but let's just call it one run. That way we could have a tie, maybe, Mindy. This is going to be a challenge game. I'll just take Florida.
All right.
I think
Have fun.
Mindy will be there on Tuesday.
Yes.
I was trying to project. I think this is the game that Mindy might end up
seeing.
I was trying to like,
because it could be oral. Like, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, because these two are going to meet again, I feel like, and I don't know if it happens. Yeah, it would have to happen in that last elimination game. One team will, be on the verge of elimination, I would think. I think these two might be the best on this side of the bracket. Parker and Sproat, two good pitchers, strong pitching matchup. We've already seen this total go down here to 10.5, juice to the under at minus 125. You mentioned all the bats. Both sides have good bats, no doubt. Parker's success, to me, will be the key. He's Virginia, and his success will be the key to this one because Florida has great bats. Florida's pitching has been strong, though, as well. If you're going to get to this point, Sproat can go deep. That helps because maybe Virginia has at least as good as an equal bullpen, to me, it feels like. So Sproat, he really fought through that South Carolina game. He didn't look that great, but did have a quality start, 3 straight quality starts. So I will take Florida here in this one. Look, ACC, they've really come on big time, especially with what Wake Forest has done. And I think they've kind of, I think at this point, I think people still want to talk SEC baseball, but ACC's had a strong year. You mentioned it, comparing conferences. And I don't think at this point you're going to slight Virginia at this point because of their being in the ACC against this SEC team. This one could go either way. Many
only like Miami is some of their, like opponents or something like that. I mean, it's not too much if you take a look at their schedules there.
So, yep, Fernando, that's college baseball, the College Baseball World Series getting underway today, this afternoon. It's a day game, so check it out. Nathan will take Virginia with you. Thomas will take the Gators, and Curtis is rooting for the Gators.
A lock, he says. It's a challenge.
Thomas laid the points. John Karras, hello. Lotto Snob, hello. All right, Mindy, you can get the plays up there. We'll get out of here.
Yeah.
The long show because of another problem. But like I said, wasn't a total problem with my Wi-Fi. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll take a look. We got a lot of plays.
Yeah, it's gonna take me forever.
Busy here. Well, hey, it's worth it.
It is worth it.
Sweep it again here. Coming off yesterday, we could kind of take a look over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all of our premium pick packages, including those from Mindy and I today in Major League Baseball, the WNBA, college baseball. We could be involved as well. So, all right, let's see. We talked about the premium plays from our handicappers today. And don't forget, you can also subscribe to the Picks of the Morning Steam. If you missed the show, use that promo code TonyT at checkout.
Did I just hear a cha-ching?
20%. Hey, that's us winning. Is that us? Is that the sign?
I just heard a cha-ching.
Nice. Somebody cares about me.
All right. Links.
All right. I will see if I can bring that up here and take a look at some of the packages of the handicappers today over at Tony's Picks. We do have Tony's got his 3-pack Powerhouse Profits. Remember, I've got a 3-pack in PFL tonight.
Right.
There's also some Bellator tonight. Wasn't in the back end there when I was checking it out, so I do have some selections. Hope we can get those through. Otherwise, come into the Discord and I'll bring them there tonight. So in the WNBA tonight, there's our play right there. It's the Lynx +5.
The Lynx is weird to type. Just want to say that.
And here also is our play in college baseball today. It's Oral Roberts. And I'll come at you with that Corday here in just a moment. And here comes the baseball, Mindy. Whoops.
Whoopsie daisy.
Orioles money line, Mets money line, Yankees money line, Jays under, Angels money line, Twins run line, Guardians run line, Rays money line, and Giants run line. Wow.
Perfect. Sounds like wins. I'm excited.
Do it for the show. The one play in the CFL tonight is going to be the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the Saskatchewan Roughriders. This one's kind of a mismatch, and I'm going to just take the Blue Bombers to roll here against Saskatchewan. Winnipeg's going to be out to prove something all season since they had a great year last year and couldn't get it done in the final. So Roughriders struggling at home right now. They are not winning games at home at all. Take the Blue Bombers, lay 6.5 today here, free play on the show. All right, Mindy, great job. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Great comments today. Appreciate all coming in here today. Enjoy the soccer, Fernando. All those Euro games going off in about 4 hours here. Big day of Euro qualifiers and some others as well. Saw more CONCACAF, African Cup of Nations, and whatnot. So, all right. Great job, everyone. Great job, Mindy. Be back tomorrow, Saturday edition. More college baseball tomorrow as well, Mindy. So be ready for that. All right.
I'll be ready. I got to go cut grass tonight or this morning. Put my picks in, go cut some grass. Then I got to open the Legion. It's my week to open the Legion because I used to, help be bar manager there back in the day, and they couldn't find anyone else to do it. So they want their, bar manager to go on vacation. So I'm left to, pull my weight.
Have you ever attended? Do you attend
I did
bar?
attend bar, yes, back in the day, a while ago.
All right. Catch you tomorrow. More Morning Steam for Mindy Hahn. I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.